I'm exposing myself. I've been exposed. I mean, I'm not really exposing anything to anybody like that doesn't know. What's good, everybody in the world? It's your boy, the nice guy. If you didn't know that's how it's pronounced, that's how it's pronounced. And I'm back again with another video, finally. I know it's been a minute, but you gotta understand, during this quarantine stuff, I can't tell the difference between Sunday and Thursday. So, yeah. But before I get into the rest of the video, I would like to shout out my friends at 423express.com. If you are in the Chattanooga area, then 423express.com is actually a delivery service that delivers all of your illegal cannabis needs right to your door. They have everything from pre-rolls to Scooby Snack edibles, and now they're doing adult beverages, so beer and mixed drinks. If you would like free delivery, you can use my promo code ACOD02. As most of you guys know, I'm actually a classical violinist, and if you didn't know that, here it is. And I also have a couple of videos on my Instagram. That's the reason why both my Twitter name and my TikTok name, follow me, is only classical, because I definitely thought that I was only going to be playing classical music. I majored in music for 3 whole years of college, because that's where I got my scholarships in. But that just didn't work out the way that everyone thought it was. My parents actually even invested in a more expensive, nicer instrument for me to play on, because we all thought that that was gonna be kind of my route. But things in college don't always work out the way that you think they do. The major question that I get all the time that has to do with me playing violin or majoring in music is always, why don't you teach? And I have a long list of reasons why I don't teach, but here's about 5 of them. The biggest one, probably, and number 1 on my list, is probably the fact that I do not have a good, genuine concept of how this thing even works. I can really pretend like I do if I'm around other orchestra people, but I have no clue. I don't know. I mean, when I started, I was 8 years old, and they told me to put my fingers down, and I just sort of did it. Yeah, I don't know. It's really just a box with strings, and I can see the things on the paper, and then I just sort of do what it makes me think that I should do, and then it works. Of course, like I don't know, but I really have no clue. Number 2, I don't know if anybody from my university even follows me or watches my videos at all that also are music majors. Like, I'm not sure, but if y'all do, y'all are gonna think I'm ridiculous. The number 2 reason why I don't teach is this guy right here, this big boy, this guy. I don't know, I had it on live focus, so hopefully it's not like too blurry, but yeah, if you can see what that says, yeah, him. He is one of the reasons for sure why I do not think that I would be a good teacher, and why I don't do it. He's the father of the entire genre in general, and you know, now that I think about it, since classical musical was really first, he's really the father of just like music in general. Yeah, so essentially you kind of start off, you don't really start playing Bach, but you do, like, early on get introduced to him, and I can't play it. I can't play Bach. It's not a thing. It's not in me. I don't know why. I sound way better on way more difficult pieces to say, but Bach is the hardest for me to accomplish. I sound god awful. But that is just to say that Yeah, when if I can't play it, if I can't play like the origin of music, I can't teach like the intricate things that like come with it. And you have to do all of these alternate things that you're not used to doing, and if you're just not comfortable with it, it just doesn't work. I would never, if somehow something happened and I had to compete again, or like, you know, be judged on my Bach performance, I would be dead last in the competition. They probably would take my instrument away from me and give me something that sounded like it came from a vending machine, because they probably would say that I didn't deserve my instrument after the performance that I just gave. Number 3. I just think all of this is funny. I don't think anybody else is probably gonna think this is funny. I kind of just now learned how to read music. I mean that in a few different ways. Let's start off with the fact that I did not learn how to actually read music until I was about 12 or 13 years old, and I started when I was 8. Essentially, when I started, I could survey my surroundings, basically, and then make the proper adjustments that I needed. I would hear it, and then I would consider that practicing, and then I would duplicate it. I wouldn't read the notes for real. I would just sort of familiarize myself with the situation. Later on, that happened. I finally learned how to read music the way that I know how to read music, or the way that I've sort of figured how to read music. I'm gonna skip that part and come back to it. But shortly after that, I realized that I didn't know how to sight read. So around the time that I was like 16 or 17 years old, I had to like drill myself. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't work out. Much later on, and by much later on, I mean in the last couple of years, I started when I was 8. I am now 24, and I probably like actually figured out, you know, how to make myself actually read the notes when I was probably 22 and a half. If you can see, the way that music is set up is that it's 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 lines, right? 4 fingers. 4 fingers. On the violin, you number them 1, 2, 3, 4. Pinky's 4, index finger or pointer is 1. And essentially, in my head, I was able to say that odd number fingers go on a line and even number fingers didn't go on a line, which was great. Except basically all through high school and all through later middle school and the beginning of college, the way I learned how to play music, I never did anything in 2nd position, 4th position, 6th position. I skipped them. I would only do 1st position, 3rd position, 5th position for everything. 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th. I always played in odd positions because that's the only place where lines work as odd numbers and spaces work as even numbers. But that is never always the best way to learn things. Essentially, you have to be way more fluid in your hand. I would have to learn how to teach kids how to read music, and I can't sit up here and say, oh, odd numbers on lines is, you know, even numbers on spaces, because that's not how it always works. Number 4, I am the least technically playing person that I am the least technical player that I know, like literally in life. I spent so many of my years just skipping over most of the details in most of the pieces that I played. I just sort of like went for it. It just, you know, it just didn't work. Like, I don't know. Like, I play the notes, I imagine the notes. I kind of, you know, whatever, and basically whatever I feel came out. And a lot of times, it was wrong. Most of the time, it was wrong. I'm gonna have to learn how to be more technical, and it just didn't work. Theory skills are garbage. Yeah, I'm just not a technical player, and that is such an important part in shaping a pupil, because like, you don't want them to hurt themselves. You don't want them developing, you know, bad habits, not reading music. Like you don't want that. You want to teach them correctly the first time, so they don't want to like shoot off and be doing stuff like me for years and years and years on end, and like eventually like they know that they're gonna have to fix it, or I knew I had to fix it, but I just kept pushing it off. Like even my bow hold is garbage. Like it's so trash. Like I don't even like all the way know how to do a decent bow hold. Like at one point I think I kinda did a bow hold. Like this part, like the way that you literally hold the bow has so much power over the way that you play and the way that you do things. Literally, it's so important. Like my bow hold is like okay right now because I'm like just holding it, like it's decent, but like essentially you're supposed to have all of this involved, and I just cannot. Like it was gonna make it so much easier to play an instrument in the long run if you could just fix your bow hold and basically have smooth transitions. Essentially you're supposed to, this is supposed to be like a decent motion of like, you can tell like I'm even having a hard time doing this right now. That was 10 years ago and I'm still not doing it right. So that just, you know, really shows you how and I think the last reason is that I kind of learned the instrument not in the most effective way. I went lessons for a long time, so from 8 to 13 I did not take lessons until my teacher basically said, if you're gonna ever get any better, you are gonna have to take real private lessons from a real professional. But then I was already kind of like behind in a way, and I was also kind of stubborn. I never did Suzuki. No etudes under my belt. No, like, not a lot of Bach. I did a lot of Bach in college, kind of, but that was such a struggle. I'm so bad at scales. I'm so bad at scales. I've been playing for, how many years have I been playing the violin? I've been playing for 16 years. I've been playing for 16 years at this point, and I still have not mastered the the scale fingering. There's like literally one that you use. It's like literally 3 fingerings for scales that you use for all of the scales. Like every single one of them. Like it's not just one, it's all of them. Like it's not different. And I don't know it. Say, like after all of this, and then I think I'm gonna be done. Basically, you don't have to learn violin the most conventional way to be kind of okay at it. You can get pretty far with just some compensating mechanisms. So regardless, like if you want to learn something, don't get discouraged because you are behind the 8 ball, or you know you feel like you can't do a certain thing, because at the end of the day, just fake it till you make it. That's an awful message. Oh my god. That's it for this video. Almost at 10,000 followers on TikTok. So y'all please go follow me so I can actually get to 10K. I'm gonna go practice my violin now because I feel so guilty about everything that I just said. And always remember, family and transparency.